Now, I'm going to tell you how you can land clients for your AI consultancy, AI solutions, or AI agent that you might have. Understand, listen to this, and trust me, there's a lot of value that you just need to take notes on. And so, when you're landing clients, you need to make sure you understand their why. What is their why? Why do they actually want your services, your solutions, and what are you going to try to sell in? And by the way, I've got my own AI solutions. I've got my own AI SaaS systems that we supply to some of the biggest companies in the world. And so I know exactly what they need from you when trying to take on your services. The first thing you need to do is understand their why. Why do they need you? Okay. Now, if they have, let's say, 1,000 employees, and the average cost of employee is like 3K, this company would be paying £3 million a month in payroll, right? So this is their payroll every single month. That's crazy, by the way, when you think about it. And so, well, actually, what are you looking to do for them? You need to understand from start to end, and the people you need to speak to and who you need to actually be selling into. I will explain all of that, right? So if you could bring this number down to, let's say, 700, and again, the average is 3K per employee, then you are saving that company close to 900K. £900,000 a month is how much you would save that company. This is where you are going to make a lot of company. What is a business looking to do? A business is looking to reduce their cost of labor, because that's one of their highest costs, automate systems, lower the cost of labor, and therefore bring in AI systems, AI solutions, where they're going to save so much money. When you think of it like this, they're spending £3 million a month on payroll, and you could save them £900,000. Now, obviously, this is a company with 1,000 employees, and there are thousands of companies that have 1,000 employees, right? There's so many more, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. In fact, even a company with 100 employees, you're going to be saving them 30, 40, 50,000 pounds a month on their payroll if you can automate a certain part of their system. Now, the cost saving thing isn't the only why, because actually productivity is also a massive plus. Because if you can increase their productivity by, let's say, 200%, and by the way, with AI, that's very possible, because again, you know, AI is going to do things so much quicker. It doesn't need to think. It doesn't make mistakes. And so not only will AI be replacing people's jobs, but it will also stop other jobs, because how many roles are there that actually do quality, testing, inspection? They're checking other people's work. Well, you don't need to do that. That's kind of like saying, I'm going to have a calculator and I'm going to have someone checking that the calculator's not made a mistake. You see, it doesn't really make sense. And so anyway, if you increase productivity by 200%, that therefore means you're getting more work done. And again, if you're doing more work, you're saving costs. And then on top of that, you're saving the business £900,000. This is very beneficial for any business owner, for any company. If you can actually offer them something like this, they will bite your hand off, right? So you have to understand why would a company need you? What are you offering them? You know, what things can you automate? And let me quickly go through some of the things that you can automate for the business. And again, take this with a pinch of salt. Trust me, you need to think much bigger than you're already thinking. Some of you guys might be working in a niche and think, you know what, we could automate a certain part. We could do this, we could do X, and that's how you should be thinking. Think bigger than most of you are thinking right now, and you will be fine in the AI space. Now, after having a quick think, I think it would be better if I did a whole video for you guys on things that you can automate within businesses. Let me know in the comments if that's what you want. Just try automate or something. So I at least know that's the sort of video you want to see. What things can you automate within a business, right? So who should you be contacting within a business? Who are the decision makers? Look, this is something so new that you have to have an idea of how you're going to proceed with providing these sort of services and what you're going to do. Well, the best thing I can tell you is this, is start on the recruitment side. Why am I saying the recruitment side? Because actually this side is the part that they want to automate the most. Reducing the cost of labor, increasing productivity is recruitment. Now, you could see it as that means the recruitment market is going to go down. That's not actually true. A recruitment company will now pivot into supplying people as well as supplying AI agents, AI systems, and AI solutions. That is exactly what you need to do. So you're going to start doing recruitment in supplying people, right? You will supply a technician, an engineer, an accounting, an IT guy, whatever it is you're going to supply. And then you're going to start having conversations with the HR manager. You're going to have chats with internal recruiters, right? You're going to have chats with directors. You're going to have chats with the MD, but guess what? You're going to be speaking to them from something they understand. They don't really understand AI at the moment. That's just the reality of it. You need something to get in with, and bearing in mind, I don't want you to just supply an AI agent to one company and make £500. I'm talking to you guys about a real business where you can make, millions and millions of pounds as long as you take the right steps, do the right procedure, and really understand how can I market and sell to this company in regards to people as well as AI solutions. And so you're going to speak to these people and speak to them about recruitment. I can help you find people. I can help you get this. I can help you. They want to have conversations about things they understand, and they don't want to have conversations about things they don't understand. Now, after understanding who you need to contact, you're going to start asking that person questions in terms of what can be improved in this person, or what can be improved in this side of the business. And you're asking from a recruitment perspective, right? So what is going wrong? What do you need more of? Let's say they need someone to do, they're looking for a customer service person, they're looking for admin, they're looking for office managers, they're looking for, someone to work spreadsheets, whatever they're looking for. And it doesn't just have to be on the office side, by the way. But whatever they're looking for, you're going to say, well, what can that person improve, or what's going wrong, or what needs to be fixed? You're going to say, well, how can we go about, ask them the open-ended question. How can we go about doing something like that? And then you're going to say, well, let me ask you a question. Have you thought about integrating AI solutions into your systems and possibly getting some of these tasks replaced by AI? Again, how easy is it to have that conversation when you're providing recruitment services and providing recruitment people? Super, super easy. If you can understand that's the market that you need to focus on, you're going to go in with recruitment, supply them people, do all of that side, and then slowly start integrating AI solutions and AI systems. That is exactly how a recruitment company will make money. In 2029, a recruitment company won't supply people. A recruitment company will supply people as well as AI agents and AI solutions and AI systems. And these people will know how to work and prompt AI, and that's just the future. This is exactly what the tech leaders are saying, and you guys need to understand so you can make the most money. Now, something you guys have to understand that 99% of people are not using AI in terms of replacing staff at the moment. 99% of companies aren't doing that. The UK, the US, Europe, Western countries, wherever you think about it, they're not really replacing people with AI. At least the 97 to 99% mark. Having said that, in 2029, 70% of people will still be in jobs, and that is people being very reluctant. Look, I've been in recruitment for 12, 13 years, and I do believe that it will probably be closer to 50, 60% of white collar jobs in an office environment will get replaced by AI. So now if that's the case, what you need to do is then go in and say, we're going to do your recruitment stuff and you're going to charge 15% of someone's salary. Therefore, let's say it's 50K is the person that you're supplying their salary. You would charge £7,500 to find this person. So you continue doing the recruitment side, but then what you're going to say, well, actually, have you thought about getting some tasks automated and going through AI and doing that stuff? Then what you're going to do is, well, actually, we can save you a lot of money. We could save you tons of money. We're going to charge, 15K, 20K. It doesn't actually matter. And then what you're going to say is, we're going to make a product for you for 15, 20,000. On top of that, we're going to charge you, let's say, £1,000 maintenance, or you could even say £2,000 maintenance of that AI product and making sure that is as effective as possible. But this system will not replace one person. This system will replace 7, 8, 9, 10 people. And it will do it, the productivity will be so much more, and this is exactly where everyone else is going. And that's what you're going to say. Everyone is using AI. People do not want to be left behind. That is the thing that you have to focus on. That is the pain point that you are looking to have a conversation with businesses about. Now, these are some of the places that I want you to focus on when having conversations with those companies. And you're going to say things like, what part of the business do you think can be automated with AI? Let's have that open conversation and let me consult with you and see actually what part we can automate. Have an open conversation, because actually a lot of companies are willing to have a chat. They just don't know how. They don't have the knowledge. I'm telling you, these guys are 60, 70 years old. They probably worked out last year, how to schedule, email someone. And I mean this in the most respectful way, but a lot of the elderly generation aren't very tech savvy. And in fact, me as a 33-year-old, I'm having to learn about AI every single day. And so, the 22, 23-year-old gets it completely, but actually 37, 38, even the 33, 34-year-olds, they don't really get it. It's past their time. It's kind of like how our parents felt when, mobile phones came out and you could watch a YouTube video or screenshot. right? That wasn't a thing with our parents growing up, so they didn't get it. That's kind of how we are now. So what part of the process can you automate? Let's have that open conversation. Let me educate you. Let me consult you. That is where you're going to make a ton of money. Now after that, be clear. Which part of the admin processes do you think we can automate? Keeping in mind customer service, any lead generation stuff, any leads coming in, any outbound sales side, payroll, finance, credit control. There's a lot of parts within the business world that you can automate, but you need to have that open conversation. And then the recruitment cost, right? Because if they've got 100 people and they are hiring, let's say 10 people every single month, and that 10 people is now going to get reduced down to 5 people, they are saving cost when it comes to paying the recruitment fees out. Because if you're hiring 5-6 people every month, you're spending about 35, 36, 40 grand every single month on recruitment fees. You as a recruitment company owner want to continue supplying people, but you want to make the most of the oil boom, the AI boom, which is the oil boom of 2025. You want to make the most of that and make money in it. Nobody is going to be doing this. Nobody. And I talk to you about businesses that I started years ago. I did it, made money. I then tell you, 3-4 years later, you're like, oh wow, this is amazing, right? This is what you need to be on right now. This is it. Starting a recruitment company, having a conversation with the hiring people, having conversations with the right people, and then offering them AI solutions and AI systems. That is exactly what you need to do. Hand in hand, they go together. So you need to understand this, right? Now, the training side, because if you get a new person in, you're going to have to train them. It costs money. You have downtime. You get an AI solutions, the AI systems in place. Downtime doesn't exist. No sick leave, no holiday, no nothing like that. Get a system in place. It does more work. It won't take days off. You won't have a day when, feeling under the weather. They're not going to come into the office. Your business thrives. And if any of your other competition use AI and you don't, you lose out. It's like, and this line is what you need to copy, remember, and use as much as possible. You're going to say, imagine not being the person who picked up on the internet, using the internet in the early 2000s. Imagine being that person that said, the internet isn't going to be the future. Today, 25 years later, you can't live without the internet. AI is going to move 100 times faster than the internet, and so within 3-4 years, it will become a necessity. I don't want your business to have to die because of that, and so you should consider these things. Remember though, people buy from the people they trust. That's why you get your foot into the door by supplying recruitment services, supplying people. That's the one place that they will always need people and want people. But then you start talking to them about, well, have you thought about AI? We can do that for you as well. We can bring in solutions as well. And I'll make more and more videos about this stuff. And let me know in the comments what you want me to talk about in particular, and I will make more videos on this stuff. But hopefully you've liked this stuff, and hopefully you're liking this video. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share with your family and friends.